Good morning, diary. I'm back. Um, well, I've been down to the river. I got my field rocks and had a hard time getting that wheelbarrow back up, but I did it. I did it. I'm a determined little sucker, but I did it. And I got a quarter of my fireplace already built. Yeah, I stayed up half the night building it. And I started my stove, and I got that out in the yard, and I'm making my cement stove. That's coming out real good. And man, I'm whizzing right along, I'll tell you. And while I was out there, I found an old tree stump. It's not completely rotted, but it's like in half, like lightning hit it or something, and it split the tree in half. Well, I took a big hunk of it, and I knocked off some of it with a rock. And I've also bought a little hatchet while I was down to the town, you see. And I got some supplies down there. I go down there quite often. And you may say, Dottie, where you getting the money to do that? Well, I put my money away through the years. I didn't need to go anywhere. I didn't date. So I didn't need money because I lived with my parents. And, they sold stuff in the town and we lived comfortably. So I've chucked all my money away because I figured if I ever had a chance to do it, I was heading to Canada and build me a mini mansion someday. It was my dream, and I'm living my dream. And so anyway, back to anyway, that's how I got my money, and I chucked it all away through the years, and I got a pretty penny put away. So I'm buying my supplies, and I'm living comfortably off it, and I don't eat much, and my little dog and kitty don't eat that much because they're small, so we get by. We get by. And I've got to get my money transferred into the bank, which I'm doing tomorrow, and get my Social Security check straightened out. And got that going into my bank up here in Canada. And, I saved everything I could with my tomatoes and my lettuce money and my vegetable stand, and I put it all away. And so I got enough to live off of. And I'm doing fine up here. I'm building up my house, and I'm working on my fireplace now, and I got a quarter of it built. And I got I got this piece of wood I'm going to be working on. I'm going to make a ramp out of it. Of course, I'm going to cement it. I'm not going to use an old tree, that's been hit by lightning and it's fried, but I'm going to use it as a mold, and I'm going to pour my cement in it and make it thick on the back and on the front, and I'm going to let it set. Do another layer, let it set. Do another layer, let it set, and it's going to be a thick sucker. And I'm going to take my my roundabout, and I'm going to use that as a ramp to get into my shed with. It ain't going to be too high. I've knocked the crap out of it with my little hatchet, and I've made it smaller, and I'm going to use that for a ramp. And I'm going to bring that instead of stairs up into my shed because it's got a thick cement floor. And it's going to have a very thick cement floor. I haven't got it built yet, but I'm working on it. And I'm working on this hunk of wood that I'm making a ramp out of. Then I'm going to stick part of that into the ground. The other part's going to be attached to my shed. And it's all going to be cemented. And I'm going to dig a hole, and I'm going to set it in there, and then I'm going to fill it with cement. Enough cement so it'll never move in its lifetime. And probably be there when I'm long gone. Anyway, so I'm working on that, and I got the back side of that all cemented right now with thick cement all over it. Then I'm going to flip it over and do the front, but I got to wait for it to dry thoroughly before each coating. And then I'm going to start my shed and, get going on that. And I've decided something. I'm not coming back for a week on my diary because I just got to work. And I only do my diary when I'm sitting down and I'm having, just before I have my lunch and my supper and stuff like that, my breakfast. And I take care of my little doggies and kitties in between. And everything's going good, I got a quarter of my fireplace built already. When I was down in the town the other day, I ordered me my plexiglass because they don't make it up here, so it's got to be shipped in. And I'm waiting at the post office to get my packages. I got that settled. And I got my address changing up here. And I'm taking care of business, yeah, And tomorrow I'm going to the bank and I'm getting that settled. And I only been up here a few days and I've already got, quite a bit done on my house already. And I don't dilly-dally. Dottie Ryder is a worker. And I'm an artisan and a craft person, so I get up and I move my booty and I get things done. And by golly, I'm cracking away at it. I already got my kitchen's already built. I just got to put the back side on, get this chimney built, and then, cement in all around it real thick. And it's never going anywhere. I mean, it's going to be there probably for a thousand years. And I got my field rocks, my first set of them. I will have to go down and get more, and I'll probably be doing that tomorrow morning and tomorrow afternoon, because I got to get a lot of rocks. I need a lot of rocks. I'm making out rocks and cement, and I want to leave the rock formation because it's pretty. And I'm just doing in between it with my cement, and I'm building up my rock pile, and I'm making me a beautiful, beautiful chimney out here, and it's stuck right onto the house. And I cemented all around it, and it's going to be warm because I've been getting plastic and stuff like that in the town, and I use plastic for an insulator because plastic will be there for 1,000 years. Plastic don't go anywhere, and I'm cementing right over it, and I'm putting in my installation that way, and I put in a lot of plastic, and I'm insulating it, and it'll be warm as toast because plastic stays for 1,000,000 years. And between that and thick cement and the rocks, my house will be snug as a bug in a rug. And I use tons of cement. I mean, lots of it. I don't build just one wall. I build 10 around it, sometimes 12, depending upon which side of the house and the wind's coming from. But my house is just done. I'm just waiting for the back wall and my chimney, and then it's going to go right up over the roof, of course. Well, of course, it's going to go over the roof. It's going to be built up way up high. And then, it's going to be on there. It ain't going nowhere. So I got a quarter of my chimney done. I already have half my ramp made, and I'm working on my kitchen stove at the same time. And I'm making that little cement stove to go out there to hitch on to my chimney. And I'll buy a piece of piping, or I'll make my own, either one. And sometimes I use plastic piping, and I just use it as a mold, and I just cement the shit out of that sucker, and I'll just stick that right onto my stove and right up the chimney, and out it goes, and it's going to be wonderful. And I'm going to have my wood or my coal stove, and I can cook on it. And then I can also put things into the embers in the fire, cook that way, like I said before. So I'm moving along. So I ain't going to be back till a week, and I'm going to get a lot of progress done. Might even be 2 weeks, because I got to get me field rocks, I got to cement each layer, and I got to let it dry, and that's why I just work night and day. I sleep when I'm tired, and I get up when I'm not, and I just work on it, and I work, and then I have to make my food and stuff like that, but I just make canned soup and sandwiches mostly, and salads and stuff, and veggies. I throw some veggies in the pot, cook that over an open fire out in the yard till I get my fireplace made. And it's moving along. Everything is moving right along. Even the kitties and my doggy, my little kitty, my doggy, they're all, up in my face like, Mommy, oh my goodness, this is coming along. And Bingo's really happy. He loves the floor. And tonight, I'm actually going to move in to the kitchen area and get out of the tent. And because it's cold, and it's still cold because I haven't got the chimney on the back part of the house yet, but I got part of it. So I'm going to snuggle up with my warm blanket and my blankies from my babies, and I'm going to have a partial little fire in that, so far what I've got made, because it's open up the top, and I can, make a fire in it. I got the whole part of the fireplace down below built already, and I'm just going to have it go out the, the top where I stopped working on it. And I'm going to have me a little fire in there tonight. And I'm going to have my babies, and they're all snug with me, up, sleeping in my sleeping bag with me, and their little beds all around, so they can go over on their beds as well. Because Bingo's a restless little sucker. He just likes to move around a lot, and so does my little Misty. And they like to move around, They get uncomfortable. Of course they do. I do too. I flip and flop half the night. But I'm working on that fireplace. Like I worked the whole day on it the other day, and then I get up in the middle of the night sometimes, and I put my lights on, my flashlights, and I add a few more layers to it, and I'm working. Hey, if I ain't sleeping, I'm working. So I go out even in the night and I put my lights on and I got me flashlights and stuff. They're very powerful and they work good.